Look, I know what you're thinking right now. Another celebrity couple story, right? But hold on, because what just went down in West Hollywood is actually pretty wild when you think about the timing of everything. So, Rihanna and ASAP Rocky just made their first public appearance together since having their third child. And honestly, the way they did it was so perfectly them that I can't help but respect the energy. Picture this. It's October 3rd in LA. The night is alive, and these two are cruising through West Hollywood in the back of a Rolls-Royce convertible, looking absolutely unbothered by the chaos of new parent life. But here's the kicker that makes this whole thing even more interesting. They weren't just randomly out for a drive, they were actually celebrating ASAP Rocky's 37th birthday, which means this man literally just became a father to his third child and immediately decided to mark his birthday with a public appearance alongside the woman who just gave birth less than 3 weeks prior. Now, if that doesn't tell you something about their relationship dynamic, I don't know what will. The photos that surface from that night show them completely in their element, just vibing together like they don't have 3 kids waiting at home. And I mean that in the best way possible because it's actually refreshing to see new parents not completely lose themselves in the chaos. Rihanna showed up in this black bomber jacket with matching shades, giving off that effortlessly cool vibe she's literally famous for, while ASAP Rocky matched her energy perfectly with a white button-down layered under a tan coat and his own pair of black sunglasses. The coordination wasn't even forced, it just naturally happened because that's how in sync these two are. And honestly, that's relationship goals right there. But wait, because the story gets even better when you start connecting all the dots. This whole public appearance happened exactly 10 days after they announced the birth of their daughter on Instagram back on September 24th. And let me tell you, the announcement itself was something special that had fans absolutely losing their minds. Rihanna posted this incredibly tender photo of herself cradling their newborn daughter. And alongside it was this picture of tiny pink boxing gloves that immediately got everyone talking. Now, you might be wondering why pink boxing gloves would be significant, and here's where it gets clever. The boxing gloves are almost definitely a reference to the classic boxing film Rocky, which makes total sense when you learn what they named their daughter. Are you ready for this? They named her Rocky Irish Mayers, which is simultaneously one of the most unique celebrity baby names I've heard in a while, and also incredibly meaningful when you break it down. The Rocky part obviously connects to ASAP Rocky himself, whose real name is Rakeem Athelstan Mayers, so they literally gave their daughter a name that directly honors her father. And I actually find that really touching in a world where celebrity baby names sometimes feel like they're chosen just for shock value. But there's more to unpack here because the middle name Irish adds another layer to this whole thing. Some people are speculating about the significance of Irish, whether it's a family connection or has some other personal meaning we don't know about yet. But regardless, the full name Rocky Irish Mayers flows beautifully and tells a story. The caption on Rihanna's Instagram post was simple and to the point, just stating Rocky Irish Mayers, September 13th, 2025. But sometimes the simplest announcements hit the hardest, you know? And naturally, ASAP Rocky couldn't help but jump into the comments section to express his feelings about their new addition. His comment said, "My little ladies," with some heart emojis, and even though it was brief, you could feel the emotion and pride radiating through those 3 words. This is a man who now has 2 sons and a daughter with the woman he loves, and that comment just encapsulated everything he was feeling in that moment. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here, because this is actually their third child together, which means they're building quite the family. They already have 2 sons named Rizza and Riot, and now, with baby Rocky joining the crew, they've got a full house of future superstars. I love how they've chosen names that are bold and distinctive for all their kids. There's definitely a pattern of uniqueness that runs through Rizza, Riot, and Rocky. Each name has this strong, memorable quality that matches their parents' larger-than-life personas. But here's what really fascinates me about this entire situation: the timeline of everything. Rihanna gave birth on September 13th, they announced it to the world on September 24th, and then by October 3rd, they're already out celebrating ASAP Rocky's birthday in the most glamorous way possible. That's less than 3 weeks postpartum, and while everyone's recovery journey is different, you have to admire the confidence and energy Rihanna was bringing to that night out. She looked absolutely stunning in those photos, completely owning her style like she always does, and there wasn't a single hint of the exhaustion that typically comes with having a newborn at home. That tells me two things. Either she's got the most incredible support system helping with the kids, or she's simply superhuman. And honestly, it's probably a combination of both. The choice to make this their first public appearance is also strategically interesting when you think about it. They could have done a formal photo shoot, a magazine interview, or any number of traditional celebrity reveal moments, but instead they chose to just be themselves, riding through LA in a convertible on a special night. There's something wonderfully authentic about that choice. Like they're saying, we're still us. We're still this cool couple who enjoys life, and yeah, we just had a baby, but that doesn't mean we stop living. I really respect that energy because it challenges this narrative that once you become parents, especially parents to multiple children, you have to completely transform into someone unrecognizable. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky are proving you can embrace parenthood while still maintaining your identity and your relationship. And that's a message that resonates with so many parents. The fact that they chose West Hollywood as their destination is also worth noting. This is a place known for its vibrant nightlife, its trendy restaurants, its celebrity sightings. So they knew exactly what they were doing by showing up there. They weren't trying to hide or be subtle. They were making a statement. And that statement was, we're back and we're doing this our way. The Rolls-Royce convertible adds another layer to this whole vibe because it's such a classic symbol of luxury and success. But the way they were using it felt more like a fun joyride than a pompous display of wealth. The photos capture them looking genuinely happy and connected, not staged or forced, which is increasingly rare in an era where everything feels curated for social media. Speaking of social media, the reaction to their announcement and this public appearance has been overwhelmingly positive, with fans flooding their comment sections with congratulations and admiration. People are genuinely excited for them and invested in their journey as a family, which speaks to the authenticity they've managed to maintain despite their massive fame and wealth. Now, let's circle back to ASAP Rocky's birthday for a second, because turning 37 while simultaneously adjusting to life with a newborn daughter is quite the milestone. Most people would probably opt for a quiet celebration at home, maybe ordering takeout and calling it a night, but not these two. They decided to make it an event, to create a memory, and to share a glimpse of their happiness with the world. That decision reveals something important about their priorities and their relationship. They value experiences, they value celebration, and they're not willing to let the challenges of new parenthood completely overshadow the special moments in life. ASAP Rocky was born on October 3, 1986, which means he's now in his late 30s, building a legacy not just in music, but as a father to 3 young children. That's a powerful narrative shift for someone who's been in the public eye primarily as a rapper and fashion icon. We're watching him evolve in real time, adding new dimensions to his identity, and this birthday celebration with Rihanna was a perfect snapshot of that evolution. The matching sunglasses they both wore in the photos is such a small detail, but it speaks volumes about their connection. They didn't plan it. They didn't coordinate it beforehand based on what we can tell. They just naturally showed up looking like the coolest couple in LA, because that's who they are. Their style has always been complementary, with Rihanna obviously being a fashion legend in her own right, and ASAP Rocky holding his own as a fashion influencer. Together, they create this effortlessly chic aesthetic that feels both aspirational and somehow attainable. Like, if you found your perfect match, you'd be vibing on that same wavelength. What I find most compelling about this entire story is the contrast between their public persona and their private life. In public, they're this glamorous power couple riding in luxury cars and setting fashion trends, but at home, they're changing diapers, dealing with toddler tantrums, and navigating the beautiful chaos of having 3 kids under a certain age. That duality is what makes them so relatable despite their astronomical level of fame and wealth. They're not pretending that parenthood is always perfect, but they're also not letting it completely define or limit them. They're finding balance, or at least they're trying to. And that journey resonates with millions of parents who are doing the same thing on a much smaller scale. The announcement of Baby Rocky also reignited conversations about Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's relationship timeline. These two have been friends for years before they became romantic partners, which gave them this solid foundation that you can see playing out in how they navigate life together. They're not just lovers, they're genuinely friends who enjoy each other's company. And that comes through in every photo and every interaction we see. The decision to have 3 children together shows a deep commitment and a shared vision for their future. And while they've kept many details of their relationship private, the glimpses we do get paint a picture of a partnership built on mutual respect, attraction, and genuine affection. Looking at the bigger context, this story comes at an interesting time in both of their careers. Rihanna has been relatively quiet on the music front while building her Fenty empire and focusing on her family, though fans are constantly begging for new music. ASAP Rocky continues to work on his music and fashion projects while now balancing fatherhood